Welcome back into the Outpost 318. I'm glad you're here with me today because we're going to be diving into a topic that not a lot of guys talk about or really, really even feel comfortable with. Um, Vulnerability. Now, you might have heard that word and you might have cringed. Vulnerability. Is that really something that a strong man should embrace? Isn't vulnerability a sign of weakness? And I get it. That's exactly what society has told us forever. We're taught to hide our emotions, to bottle up our struggles, and to wear a mask of strength at all costs. But here's the truth: strength is found in vulnerability, and it's time to break the cycle. And in this episode, we're going to explore what vulnerability really means, why it's essential for your mental health and spiritual health, and we're going to learn how we can embrace it to make us better men, ones who can live with deeper connection, more courage, and yeah, more strength. So first, let's get into the myth of the stoic man. For centuries, society has given us a picture of what a strong man is supposed to look like. He is a stoic figure. He's calm, he's collected, he's unshakable. He's the guy who hides his emotions, he never asks for help, and he faces the world like a rock. Now, maybe you've tried to live up to this image, just like I have, and countless men before us. But here's the truth: this version of masculinity is not a strength; it's a lie. When you suppress your emotions, when you bottle up your feelings, it doesn't make you strong. It makes you fragile. Okay? Sure, it might seem like you're holding it all together on the surface, but inside that tension builds and builds and builds until something cracks. And it's just a matter of time. You might be thinking, well, I haven't cracked yet. I haven't blown up yet. Give it a minute. Keep burying it. Just keep doing it. You see, the more we try to be perfect, the more we try to be the stoic man, the more we actually disconnect ourselves off and disconnect from others. We get stuck in our heads and shut down our hearts. We think we can handle it all on our own, but in reality, we're never meant to walk this journey out alone anyway. I mean, we're 10 episodes deep, and I think I've pretty much said that same sentence in every episode. We are not meant to walk this out alone because vulnerability is the true source of strength. So let's flip the script. True strength is actually found in vulnerability. And when I say vulnerability, I'm not talking about weakness or being soft. I'm talking about the strength to open up, to actually let other people see the real you, that messy, jacked up, imperfect, broken part you, that one. Because that takes courage. Psychologically, vulnerability has actually been shown to build resilience. I'm pretty sure we talked about that in the last episode. It's how we grow and adapt in the face of difficulty. And studies have shown that where we share our struggles and connect with others, we activate a part of our brain that strengthens our emotional resilience. It allows us to process pain. It allows us to face our challenges head on and ultimately become stronger. So think about it. When we lock ourselves in, when we keep everything to ourselves, when we get overwhelmed, we burn out, we give up, we lash out. But when we let our guard down and we actually walk through those emotions, have emotional intelligence, have a real connection with other people, we actually begin to find peace. And I don't know about you, but I've lived in chaos for a long time. I want my peace. Vulnerability does not make us weaker. It actually makes us more whole. Because vulnerability is the key to connection. One of our most powerful benefits of vulnerability is a deeper connection that it creates with other people. When you let yourself be seen, you allow someone to see your real self. So you invite them to do the same thing. If you're vulnerable, you expect them to be vulnerable too. And that's where brotherhood and friendship and meaningful relationships are actually built. So if you think about it, how many people do you really know? I mean, like, that you know, I can name two. Most of us, we hide behind our shields and our walls and our armor, but when you take those walls down, even just a little, something starts to shift. And inside the Outpost 318 community, vulnerability is the cornerstone of brotherhood because we are committed to showing up for each other, not in our perfection, but in our realness. It's in these moments when we let go of our pride and our bravado that we connect on a deeper level. And one of the reasons why men often struggle with loneliness and isolation is because we refuse to allow ourselves to be vulnerable with other people. Why? Because we fear rejection. We don't want to be rejected. No one wants to be rejected, male or female. We fear rejection. We fear judgment. But when we take that leap of faith, when we share our struggles, when we invite others to walk with us, that's when we know that we're actually doing something right. It's in these moments where true strength emerges. The strength to be real and say, hey, I need help. I'm struggling right now. Like my mental health is bad. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I don't know what to do. I've got this coming up. I've got this deadline that I got to meet. I've got this that my family expects from me. I got all this going on. But if you self-isolate and you're not vulnerable, you have no one to talk to. And believe me, when you find that group or those guys that you can be vulnerable with, and when you can say that I need help, believe me, when you do, you'll find that men around you are just as hungry for that kind of connection. But they're just waiting on someone to take the first step. Why? Fear of judgment, fear of rejection. They don't want to be the first. But if you want to lead, if you want to be a true leader, you take the first step. There has to be some spiritual vulnerability too. You have to bring your whole self to God. Well, I don't care about God. Well, He cares about you, so shut up. We're going to take this a step further, and we're going to look at the spiritual side of vulnerability. And I know this can be tough for a lot of guys. Maybe you think that if you show God your doubts or your anger or your weakness, He won't accept you. But that's exactly where you get it wrong. In Psalms 34:18, David writes, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and He saves those who are crushed in spirit." What does that mean? It means that God is not afraid of our pain, and He's not afraid of our weaknesses. And He's not waiting for us to clean up our act or put on a mask before we can come to Him. He wants to bring us to our real selves. He wants us to bring Him our real selves, exactly as we are. And He meets us there. If you don't believe me, read Luke 15 about the prodigal son. Because vulnerability is one of the most powerful ways to experience God's grace. And when we open up, when we bring our whole selves to Him, doubts and all, we allow His power to work in us. And He's not looking for perfection. Because if He is, no one measures up except for Jesus. He's not looking for perfection. He's looking for willingness. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, Paul writes, "But He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly in my weakness, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me." God's power is made perfect in our weakness. That means the more vulnerable we are, the more His strength shines through us. So if you're hiding from God, if you're hiding from your struggle, or you're trying to carry it all on your own, stop. Bring your vulnerability to Him and let His strength fill in the gap. Now, here at Outpost 318, we believe that vulnerability is the glue that holds our brotherhood together. That there is power of vulnerability in brotherhood, and it's a hard conversation. That's what it is. That's what vulnerability is. It's having those hard conversations. It's the late night talks around the fire. It's the shared struggle and triumphs that we find strength. When we lean on each other, when we are willing to share our weaknesses and our wins, that's where the real work of transformation happens. Men, real men, don't keep their struggles to themselves. They bring them to the light. They talk about it. They get real about it and they kill them. This is what makes brotherhood so powerful. That it's not just about hanging out together or having fun together. It's about walking through the fire with one another, carrying each other's burdens, and helping each other grow into the men God called them to be. Now, there are benefits to embracing vulnerability. You might be thinking, okay, let's go. You gave me the psychology, you gave me the Bible, you gave me all this stuff. Cool. So, why should you actually start embracing vulnerability? Because embracing vulnerability leads to healing. Vulnerability allows you to process and heal from your past. And it's being honest with yourself and others that that you actually begin to let go of old wounds and hurts. Number two, you're going to start making some connections. When you share your struggles, when you share your truth, you give others permission to share theirs too. And it's through this connection that deep, meaningful relationships are actually forged. And through those connections, you're going to experience the third thing, growth. Vulnerability stretches you. It forces you to confront your fears and move through them. The more you embrace vulnerability, the more you grow into a stronger, wiser man, which will eventually lead to the fourth thing, authenticity. At the end of the day, vulnerability is about being real. And people are starving for authenticity. And when you're real, you will never again have to worry about wearing a mask. And you can show up exactly as you are. And that's where true strength lies. So, brother, here's my challenge for you today. Start small. Maybe letting your guard down with a close friend. Maybe it's opening up to God in prayer. Be honest in your prayers. Like, shocker. or maybe it's just acknowledging that you don't have it all together. And that is okay. But real strength is found when you allow yourself to be seen, flaws and all. You're not weak for being vulnerable. You're the strongest man in the room. And when you start embracing that strength, you'll discover that vulnerability is the key to building lasting connections, deep healing, and a stronger, more authentic you. As always, I want to leave you with this. You're not alone, and we're all in this together. Thanks for being a part of Outpost 318. Until next time, keep pushing forward, never stop growing. I'll talk to you next time.